Good afternoon, everyone. We're here on Off the Record discussing colorism. That's it. This is Naeemah. This is Miriam. I'm Joshua, and we look forward to engaging with you all. Boom. Boom.
The definition of colorism. Colorism is a form of prejudice and discrimination in which people are treated differently based on darker skin tone. This is from the impact of from oppression by white slave masters. This is internalized racism. So we ask that you all, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please feel free to comment, and share. I also have a quick disclaimer. If you do not know what colorism is, please do not come in the comments. This is not the shade room.
That's
we
right.
do not want to hear, oh, colorism does not exist. It exists. It's real. We also do not want to hear, we're all Black. We're all under the same oppressor. Yes, we know that. That does not change the impact of white supremacy, and it does not negate the real issue of colorism. So moving right along, did you have something to say?
No, that was
okay. I just wanted to give some quick stats from the justice system about colorism. So I got this article from NPR, and it basically just states that based on the Justice Department figures, nearly 12% of Black men ages 25 to 29 are in prison or jail. 3 times the rate for Latino males, 6 times the rate for white males. So right there, that's showing the disparity. It also states that there are volumes of studies that consistently show Black suspects, especially Black male suspects, are more aggressively charged, prosecuted, and sentenced than are whites. There are also findings to add by Jennifer Eberhardt, an associate professor of psychology at Stanford. In the May issue of Psychological Science, Professor Eberhardt reports that convicted murderers who look more stereotypically Black, meaning broad noses, thick lips, dark skin, kinky hair, are more than twice as likely to get the death sentence than are their fairer-skinned Black men. That is, as long as the victim is white. And so that's all I have.
mine with me.
I want to do a quick history of colorism, to talk about the root, where colorism originated from. It is from slavery, when the slave master would rape the Black slave and make lighter-skinned children, and they would proceed to be more innocent, and they would get to work in the big house, and they would keep them separated from the field slave, and that then grew into their European standard of beauty. The white slave master gave them those special privileges, and those privileges exist today, whether that's in a workplace or in media, and where the closer it is to white, the more we accept it. Move right along to media. I wanted to discuss how in music, colorism is heavy in music, in television, and in movies. One example I have with music is lyrics. For example, it was a big thing with Kodak Black when he said in his song "Brother Yellowbone," "I don't want no black, BITCH." And if you all remember, it was some man who was actually trying to defend Kodak Black, which is crazy to me. And even when Chris Brown said "Yellow Model Chick," that's how he starts off a song. Or Lil Wayne, "I want a long hair, thick red bone." I mean, it's sick. It's just going on. I mean, right? You can just turn on the radio and you will hear the fetish and the lust for the mulatto or the lighter skinned Black women, as if the darker skin tones women aren't good enough, or we aren't represented in music videos. We're never the main character in movies. I'm sure you all have examples in movies. I have some, like Grownish, the new show. There's no dark skinned character. I have Blackish. It's one dark skinned child in Blackish. 4 children, 1 dark-skinned child. That doesn't even make sense to me. I have in House Party, which is one of my favorite movies. Shireen is the yeah, I can go on and on. In House Party, Shireen is the dark-skinned friend. Regina is the innocent. Even Kid and Play. Kid was presumed to be the innocent. He was the smart one, and Play, of course, was the sexualized. He was supposed to be like the player. ATL, Nunu, and you had
versus twins.
Versus the twins. You know, it's just always the main character. Even in one of my favorite Netflix shows, what's that show?
Dear White People.
Dear White People. Sam is the lead character, and her friend, of course, is, you know, dark skinned sidekick. We never get to be that those main roles. It's rare. Shout out to Insecure. Definitely.
Excellent. Along with that, I like to say that I didn't know or didn't notice pay attention to colorism in music until I heard Jay-Z said when he said, "I got all wavy light-skinned girls loving me now. My self-esteem is through the roof." Like basically, once he got on, then he got a light-skinned girl. So when I heard him say that, it made me pay attention more to myself and my choice and women. And hopefully, that I didn't have that same sickness.
Absolutely.
All right, next, maybe dealing with the parenting.
Oh, okay. So just moving on to some solutions. We don't want to dwell on the issue. We're talking about ways that we can hopefully rectify it within our home. It starts in our home. I'm going to talk about how it's perpetuated by parents, first of all. A lot of parents, you might hear them saying, "Oh, you know, that baby got good, she got good hair, or that one, you know, their hair is nappy like their daddy, or nappy like mine, and they got good hair like their daddy." So just saying those negative terms instead of beautiful curls. Mm-hmm. You know, it's all about the language, and those messages can be received so early on with children. So we have to be mindful of the language and the terms that we're using. We have to check ourselves and also be mindful of who we have around our children and what their mindset is. Because if they're, say, you know, you have one child who is light skinned and one child who is more brown, and, you know, people are fawning over the lighter skinned child or whatever, and or one child who has a tighter curl or looser curl, and you know, people are just gravitating towards one of your children. You need to check that. You need to address that, and you need to make sure that your children are mindful of that, and that your children know that they're beautiful. Both of your children are beautiful, and that they love their skin, that they love their hair, and address it. We have to talk about it within our families. You know, our family, we talked about it. We, you know, it was something that wasn't ignored. I've seen, you know, two children being in a stroller, one dark, one light, you know, and then people just only addressing one child and acting like the other child doesn't exist. So we have to be very mindful as parents to protect our children, to make sure that they love themselves, and to look in the mirror and make sure that our self-esteem and our self-love is where it needs to be, and we're embracing ourselves.
Absolutely. Okay, Naeemah, yours.
She basically said everything I wanted to say, but teaching self-love and being careful of the images we allow children to see on TV and hear in the car. If it's certain songs that I know that, you know, promote that, I won't ever play them with my niece or nephew in the car. Or if I'm with, you know, Black children, I don't play those songs, or I don't let them watch certain shows. I forgot to mention Tyler Perry. He has an obsession with making the dark-skinned character the bad character, and the light-skinned man the hero who comes save the one. I don't like that. You know what I mean? We got to get rid of those negative stereotypes. I won't allow that. But just protecting our children from listening to those music and watching that. But it starts at home.
I have one more thing also. Something interesting that we can do within our homes as far as starting the conversation, or just if you're curious or if you're arrogant and think, no, that doesn't affect my children. Something that we can do is give our children the doll test. It doesn't have to be giving them a white doll versus a black doll. It can be giving them a doll that has, you know, a looser or straight hair and light skin, and then giving them a darker skin doll and just putting them out and seeing which one they want, which one they gravitate to, or taking them to the store and asking them which one they want to buy. That would be a good conversation starter right there, something that we could do within our homes.
Absolutely.
I think that my mother did a great job of doing that with us, teaching us, even in her extremeness of not letting me play with Batman and Superman as a child growing up. She was like, no, you need to focus on having positive dark skin or Black male images that reflect you in a positive way, so that when I saw things on television, it didn't affect me the same way it may have affected other people, because I was so programmed to love myself and my skin complexion. I think that she did a great job with that. I also wanted to talk about pretty kids. That term "pretty kids" really makes me upset, because most of the time I hear that is within people who have knowledge of self or the woke community. they use the same terminology. So if you think about the Black Panther Party, most people know Huey Newton, but they do not know how Bobby Seale looks till this day. So you can show them, it's like, oh, it's Black History Month, black, black, black. But in Black History Month, when you look at all of the pictures, it's always going to be Angela Davis, it's always going to be Huey Newton, it's always going to be Malcolm X, it's always going to be people who are lighter skinned you versus the dark skinned people. So if we can't find a way in the woke community or the community should know the knowledge of self to find love for dark skinned people, then where should dark skinned people find love at? So that's an issue that I see. But the solution is to love yourself, and I think that if we work on that within our community, it can be great. That's all I feel.
Do you have any questions? We don't have any questions yet, but shout out to Brother Mark, Brother Jonathan Davis, Ma M. Nigel, Elizabeth, and Mac on Face. Thank you all for your comments.
Absolutely.
And if you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the comment section.
And I wanted to say something else about parenting and house life at home. My mom didn't allow us to watch Cinderella or Little Mermaid or Pocahontas when we were young. I still haven't seen those movies in the Jungle Book because she didn't want us to look at those European standard of a princess and give us that was beautiful. She never allowed that in our home, and I appreciate her. I didn't understand. I thought she was super strict and she was tripping, but I definitely understand it now that I'm older, and I plan on doing the same thing with my children.
Absolutely.
All right, we thank y'all for tuning in, and hopefully next Sunday we have something, or next Saturday. We'll get the date, which one it is. Sunday is Super Bowl Sunday, so I'm going to be watching Super Bowl. But sometime next week, we got our next episode off the record, so stay tuned. Thank y'all for tuning in, and we look forward to seeing y'all next time.
Bye, my love.
Thank you.
You gotta be silly. You gotta be silly. You gotta be silly.